All right, you guys, podcast time. We got the equipment and the perfect business plan. Give our show away for free and tell no one how to find it. Ready?
Welcome to another episode of the Brand X Podcast. I am John. With me, as always, my co-host Deuce.
Como esta, bitches?
And also, Joe is here.
Tally-ho.
You okay over there? I see you messing around with things.
Yeah, there's damn chips on the table again, and as soon as that thing's, I just had
That's
this.
why
Oh, you have to play? Okay.
I have to play with
That's
it.
why I threw it over there, because I was doing the same thing.
Okay, that's
Just something
fine.
about it. You want to play with it.
Yeah, there's like those spinner things now. There's something you always have to have moving with your fingers and
I
stuff
guess,
like that.
you know.
Oh, the fidget thing?
The fidget thing. Yeah, I understand
See
that.
that kid that got his lip cut?
No.
Yeah, it was on the news.
Yeah.
Something about compressed air and a fidget spinner, and he had like 2 cuts above his lip, and he went to the hospital, and the mother took a picture and said, "Don't do this with the fidget spinners."
Yeah, well, yeah. See, the thing
duh.
about it is they can be used for good and they can be
evil.
used for evil. The other thing is that, if you try to, push the boundaries of the fidget thing, there could be an issue.
Well, not only that, with compressed air, like, that's a lot of potency in there.
Right.
A lot of people always get in accidents with like lawn blowers
Mm-hmm.
because they don't realize how much they're
much-
pushing out.
That's exactly right. Yeah, you're right.
They wind
with
up
that.
getting shot in the nose with it, like, because it comes back on, but the recoil,
Yeah.
like,
A lot of stuff can happen
not
there.
fun.
No. All right. So last week we didn't get a chance to record. That was my fault. I
don't think it was your fault.
Well, I mean, I had situations happen where I could not.
Right.
We just couldn't make it happen.
Through no fault of your own.
Well,
we had to.
yeah, Friday, my daughter graduated. We buried my mother Tuesday. We had the viewing Monday. And then Sunday, you guys were going to come and record, but it was Father's Day. And that's not right. So we put it off. So then what I had to go out in the archives and blow the dust off of the lost episode.
Lost no more.
And you wanted to know why it was lost. Because all I did was argue. I must have had some kind of hair up my ass. Because all I did was argue with everybody. I need to apologize to, first of all, you and Joe. And
Oh, I thought it was great entertainment. I get to sit here and watch you two bat back and forth.
Yeah, but we used to do that every week at Kaminsky's.
I know that.
Back in the day.
I know that. But, I mean, some people are like, this guy's an asshole. In fact, Brian Tulip put a picture on Facebook. I'm like, this guy will argue with anyone, or this argue with anyone about any topic. And I guess that was for me, which,
I don't
point
know.
taken.
Could go both ways.
And, so should I try to be the kinder, gentler John? I don't know. I don't think that really plays well here.
That'll last for 10
Be
minutes.
yourself.
Yeah, I guess you kind of got to be yourself. I mean, not that I think that
I guess that's only startling because from people that don't.
know us.
Right.
If that was the first episode that you ever listened to of our show,
I'd probably never listen again.
it's like these two fucking morons are doing, yelling at each other. It's ridiculous. But
Well, there's been other before. Now we do Facebook
yes,
Live.
right?
But before, when we used to do everything in cast, and before that and all that, there's a lot of stuff that a lot of that got cut out
Yes,
and left behind.
that's true.
The trimmings are on the cutting room floor.
Yeah.
So that one you couldn't help but put out because it went out live. So-
It did go out live, didn't it?
yeah, oh yeah, oh yes it did. Oh, yeah, because Mindy
Mindy
chimed in with, "You guys have to calm down.
You need to calm down.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
So, hey, listen, speaking of Facebook, we have a Facebook page and we put stuff over there. And we would love it if you joined us. You could join in on the conversation. And if you go to Facebook and just search Brand X Podcast, you'll see our page. Give us a like. Give us a follow. And check us out. Hang out with us over there.
Give us some love.
Give us some love. Talk in the mic. Give us some love. And then, when we go live and we'll record like right now, you guys can kind of come and join us and hang out with us while we do live. We try to get the camera a little bit closer because we were getting, well, first of all, it looks like we're in a militia meeting right now. So it's a little bit dark down here.
Yeah. Good cabin in the woods.
Right. But I wanted to try to make it higher and put it on more of an angle so you see more of us. But I think you see enough of us. Look, I'm wearing my Who's Right t-shirt I got. Podcast t-shirt.
Doug and Anthony.
Doug and Anthony.
Now part of the
Hush Your Face Network. Yeah, they're part of Hush Your Face Network. So is Ped and Miller.
Yes. And I found out by listening to Ped and Miller yesterday when I was going up the turnpike that you might be on the show.
That's what we talked about that, but we haven't finalized anything.
That was the last. Yeah, they're on vacation.
Viva La Pedros is on a holiday. Mm-hmm. He's walking around somewhere with a man purse. There was a picture of him on Twitter with this big giant. It had to be a joke. It was like pink, and it was like a woman's big giant
was
bag.
Was a Photoshopped on it, or did he just grab one and took a picture with it?
Right. And I said, that's not a man purse. It's
not a purse. It's a knapsack.
Yeah, you should wear a knapsack. Don't get a man purse or satchel. Such a faggy thing to wear. Yeah, so go over and like us on Facebook. And it looks like we took down Tom and Steve. They haven't put a show out in forever.
Yeah, they're probably retooling.
You think they're getting some gear? I hope so.
Maybe.
It's a tool again.
I'd like to see it. So our podcast is about your podcast. It's like, we've got nothing. So we'll take your show. We'll highlight your show. And maybe some of your listeners will give us a pity listen.
How long has it been since they've been out and about?
Give me 2 seconds and I will tell you that. Give me 2 seconds. I'll grab my phone and look because I subscribed to their show in case they decide to put something out.
Surprise episode.
Yeah. Every time I see their show, I keep expecting to see the big giant noses.
Those are not noses.
No, they're not noses.
Yes, because after such wide exposure, they decided to adopt it as their trademark now.
Right. Let's see. They'll tell me which. Here we go. May 22nd was their last show.
Wow.
It's a
2
month.
months. Oh, yeah.
1 month.
We're going into the second month, yeah.
You really do feel like it's been a while.
Now, you know what? I've been doing that. Yeah, it has been a long time. And I've only had half a beer. I've been doing that all week. Yesterday and today I've been catching up on stuff and with June and July.
Being so close to.
Right. I'm writing checks for, and I'm going back, checking statements and when's this one doing? And I've been just bouncing back. I've been doing that all day today and yesterday, saying June when I met the other and vice versa.
So what is Deuce drinking today? I heard it wasn't as hoppy as you thought it was going to be.
Oh, this is Trogs Hopback. So right there in the name, it's like
a very hoppy beer.
Right. But it's an amber, and it's not like the a lot of the new style is they stuff so many hops into the beer now. You might as well just go out to the pine tree next door and stuff your mouth full of pine cones, and it's a little too hop. I'm not a big fan of that much hop.
Okay.
So this is actually pretty good. Trogs again, somewhat local, Pennsylvania brewery.
Cool. Like that. Not that I'm a beer drinker, but
yeah, you should start.
It's never too late to start.
Not a fan. I mean, it's okay. Yeah. I'm a beer pussy.
Beer pussy.
I'm a beer pussy.
Techno bully is a beer pussy.
I smell title. Techno bully.
You better write that down because by the end of the night we'll forget it.
Yeah, so last week was kind of a rough week. There was some really good stuff. My daughter was, she graduated high school, which was really cool. We got a chance, that's weird, man. That time goes fast, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Little,
Well, my son.
I call him Little Wise, but it's not even Little Wise.
Nah, he's taller than me now.
Wise.
Bastard.
Right.
But just
is he that tall now?
Yeah, he's got about a half.
I always said he was kind of like Diane's brother.
Yeah. Who's very tall.
Yeah, but I thought Diane's dwarf genes were going to ruin him.
Yeah.
Because he was, up until senior year in high school, he was 5'1". He was like...
Oh, really?
Oh, he was like Diane's height.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
And then he shot up. But I did the same thing in high school, so he got that. He wound up being taller than me, so that's all good.
That's good.
And then we had to go through the whole thing of the funeral, which is weird because, for me, and I told you this before, I don't really do death well. And then everybody's like, they want to come up and say, hey, listen, I'm sorry about your mother. And the whole time, oh, thank you. And it's like, during the viewing, it's where you have to say, when people say sorry about your mother, you have to say thank you 1,000 times. And I just think we should do, as a civilization, I think we should find a better way of doing this.
Well, you had an unusual circumstance with your mom being as far away as she was, and it took time to get her up here.
Yes.
So you had an extra week of that being in limbo kind of a thing.
And don't get me wrong, I really do appreciate the outpouring because, trust me, I was taken back by the outpouring. I mean, not only, in the family and friends area, but the podcasting people and people that I know online and stuff like that, and people that I didn't even know online, but that knew me through some of the shows that I do, being the producer of the She Podcast and being on there. That was, it takes you back. I mean, it's something. And it was funny. I was talking to Ped Meller. I guess it was on Facebook or Twitter, one or the other. We were talking back and forth. It might have been Facebook Messenger. And I said that because it was right before the viewing. I said, sorry, I got to leave now. I got to go over and say sorry or thank you 1,000 times. While people, yeah. So it's one of those things. And I think I put him on his heels, because they're very proper over there. Even when they, when you're reading a tweet from Ped Meller when he's upset about something, it's so nice. Yeah. They're so nice.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
And I can't see, when I go on that show, I might just.
So you're saying you're not nice?
Not like that. No.
No, they're polite because,
very polite
with people with the UK in our old company, and even when they're chewing your ass out, they're very nice about it.
You feel like saying thank you.
Well, I just got reamed out, but I feel good about it.
I'm not upset. Yeah. Now, when you get reamed out by somebody in the U.S., you've been reamed.
You've been reamed. Yeah.
Like, you want to go home. Yeah. You want to go lay down. You need a nap.
You might be shivering and quaking.
So, what's going on with you guys this week?
They pulled the plans for DDG 62.
What does that mean?
Which is, that's the registry number for the destroyer Fitzgerald. So we got work, Okay. That's the one that got plowed into by the...
So that accident actually made you guys money.
Well, it's not making us money. So, it is making us money, of course, but it's just, there's a lot of questions with that. And, they're probably going to get an upgrade for a lot of the equipment they had, because it's actually a pretty old destroyer as far as the technology goes, which is to say it's probably, I think, maybe 15 years, maybe even less than that. So, but if there's enough structural damage to the ship, we might get a new destroyer out of it. But
wow, really? It's that bad?
Probably not. But
okay,
it had to be really. I mean, when that Sheffield got hit, it was amazing how they.
Yeah.
That one, they blew a hole out.
That was a chef.
That was the Carl Vinson.
Right.
That was it's right on the tip of
the coal. Yeah,
they ran that boat right into it.
Right, and they blew it up, and they blew a big hole inside of it. That one, they fixed that one too, didn't they?
Yeah. Did you ever see the pictures where they pulled that completely out of the water on a floating dry dock?
Yeah.
No, I missed that.
Yeah, pulled it right out of the water.
It's amazing what they can do.
The Sheffield was from the Falkland Islands, where I'm showing my age.
Wow. Okay.
1980.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a couple of years ago. Decades.
That's true.
Nah, it wasn't that long, was it? Yeah.
Daddy would always make us.
No, come on. It was only like 5 years ago. Dad, no, it was like 30 years ago.
See, we're doing that now.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
We're doing the same thing.
Oh, yeah. Well, we are crossing over.
That's right. Hey, listen, here's one, if we can talk just a second with the listeners. We have this thing going on right now where you can get your Brand X gear, T-shirts, sweatshirts, coffee mugs, hoodies, all that good stuff.
Tank tops, ladies wear.
There you go.
Ask me how I know.
Because you bought it all.
Well, I bought Diane 2, Wise a shirt, Me Too shirts, and the mug, and a hoodie.
There you go. Yeah. And you can do what Deuce did by just going over to brandxpodcast.com/gear. That's brandxpodcast.com/gear. And it helps us out a little bit. Helps us pay for some of the hosting and stuff. And it's nice. It takes a, you'll
look cool doing it.
You'll look cool doing it. Exactly. All right.
While we're talking, I'd like to say a shout out to Bobby Vinny Vinetz.
Oh my God! Yes,
he's not feeling. Looks like he's doing a lot better. I mean, that was he's in the hospital, and he had a little procedure done, and it looks like he's doing well. And we just want to say that we're sending the best of wishes and thoughts to him.
Now, Bob's from 3 Comedy. He's part of the
part of the triumvirate.
Jason, Bob, and Mindy, and he did he recorded with them Friday.
Mm-hmm.
And then somewhere between Friday and Saturday, something happened. He ended up in the hospital, and he found out one of his arteries was clogged going up to his brain.
I guess I'm assuming it's a carotid artery.
Yeah.
Yeah,
one of them. Well, you know how I am with anatomy.
Mm-hmm.
I'm horrible. So that being said, he had to go in the hospital, and he's been there longer than he really thought he would. But, I want to see him get out of there because he's too young for this. I mean, me, you could see that. Oh, John's, the fat finally got in his left side of his carotid artery, and, he's in the hospital. Okay, we can understand that. Bob's like fit. He's, he lifts. He does all this stuff.
He's
and
lean and he's mean.
Yeah.
He goes to the ravine.
Yeah. And I guess it just goes to show you'd never know.
Yeah, but it looks like he's putting out his usual jovial, cheerful, funny
self.
Yeah, Facebook messages. So, and we just like to say, we're wishing for all the best for him.
Yeah, like to see him get back to behind the mic. Is doing stand up and listen. At least this has got to be a bit. Mm-hmm. It's got to be some kind of bit for him. I would think.
Just being in the hospital is like You get reams of material and that.
Yeah.
Hey, Richard Pryor turned his little self-immolation affair into a pretty good skit.
Right. So then George Carlin went off of that, so when he says Richard Pryor had a heart attack, so then I had a heart attack. Then Richard Pryor set himself on fire. I said,
fuck that. I'm going
to have another heart attack. All right. Want to get into some nonsense in the news?
Yeah, why not?
Now, listen, we've been away for a little while. And
the stories piled up.
The stories kind of piled up, and you probably heard this already. But this one I can't let go. Smoking hot 25-year-old teacher arrested for having sex with students.
And that's how the headline was, or is that your
That's
headline?
John's headline.
Okay.
Well, look at the picture.
Is that like the AP release that?
The Associated Press.
Smoking hot.
She is hot.
Smoking hot. I mean, look at that.
Why would you even get a picture like that if you're a teacher?
She's all right. I mean, if you like that kind of thing.
Dude, she's a solid 9.5.
Yeah,
she's a Vegas 9.5, which means she's a Jersey 12. I mean, the eyes that
I know. Well, I was just saying. I was just going to say the eyes by themselves are like,
and
they can knock you up.
She's 25, dude. I think some of these women become teachers just to bang young guys because she just got there in January, and then
she couldn't wait.
And then she's arrested. She's 3 kids.
Wow.
What kind of school is it?
217 and a 6. What kind of school is it? The one I want to go to.
No, I mean, is it like a preparatory school?
Yeah.
Is it all boys only?
North Carolina, Rocky Mount preparatory school.
Okay, so it's all. I'm assuming that it's just all boys.
Right.
Maybe, probably not. I mean, it's almost impossible to have an all boys high school. You can have an all girls high school.
You can have. They used to. I don't think they do that anymore. They might in a private school, but I don't think this is.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It would have to be a private school.
Right. Yeah, she was there. The thing that got her in trouble was she got a 16-year-old. If they were 17, she would have just got fired. She wouldn't have had to go to jail. I don't think they should send her to jail. I think she should get Teacher of the Year. To be quite honest with you.
Yeah, that's really good.
You're living vicariously through this kid.
Yeah, sure I am.
Well, look.
Dude, if I was in school, I don't know if we talked this about. I know there was at least 3 teachers that when I was in high school, 16, 17 years old, definitely had fantasies about. Have you?
Yeah, sure.
No.
You didn't?
No.
I did.
Blind? Okay. You went to the same school?
I just lie a lot.
Yeah.
Well, why can't you say that you have?
I'm trying to get a rise out of you, that's all.
I'm not asking for...
I'm just trying to get you all fired up.
Well, it's not... I don't care.
Like the lost episode.
No, I don't care. But I don't understand why saying no...
but the teachers said I could see why, because those teachers were looking back, they always seemed like they were so much older, but they really weren't that much older than we were then.
No. And I think that hold on one second. John, shut the fuck up and stop bouncing around trying to record down here.
I'm sure that went out over Facebook Live.
Did you hear it?
Oh no.
But it didn't go out over Facebook Live.
That must be a great visual. I can't wait to watch.
Here comes the feed now. John staring up at the ceiling, yelling.
Sorry. I have my son upstairs, and I tell him that we're recording downstairs and, not to be loud and not to be noisy. And he's up there talking. I don't know what he's talking to or who he's talking. He's talking to himself, and he's bouncing around up there. And I can see you whipping your head around. It's distracting you. It's distracting Joe. So I had to turn the sound down and yell at him.
Okay.
Wrecked the rhythm of our story.
Scared me straight.
All right, so we're back.
Okay, so the teachers weren't much older than I was at the time.
Teachers weren't that much older at the time, but there was like 3. Matter of fact, my homeroom teacher was a smoking hot blonde that just graduated from college. So she was like 24 years old. I was 17, same thing. Mm-hmm. There's definitely, I mean, it's different between, I know, oh, it's a double standard. You're goddamn right it's a double standard. Mm-hmm. It's a double standard between boys and girls. And the only reason this woman got caught, well, not the only reason, but the reason she got caught was because the one student she stopped banging told on her. Yeah. Yeah. So what happens is as soon as you stop.
Well, sometimes they get caught because people observe
dumbassery.
Right. Yeah, they
get a little too friendly,
little too frisky in the public's eye.
Right. Well, there's a lot of dumbassery. They get caught because this one guy gets his cell phone and say, "Hey, look at this." They get naked pictures of the teacher on the phone, start passing it around to all the boys. That's what I got. Dumbassery.
Well, remember we just did the story where the one teacher was, and she was quite ugly, to be quite honest with you. Right, and we think that.
She was the Quaker, right?
Yeah, we think that the students were banging her just to blackmail her so they could get better grades.
Get A's out of her.
Yeah, but she outfitted them with guns.
Yeah, that was a little.
And to rob them of every cell phone. That was like.
Yeah, why didn't they just say, we're not doing that? Yeah, you give us good grades and shut your mouth and we won't.
Oh, boy.
But it would already.
I don't know, but she just gets a gun out of it.
I guess.
Free
Listen,
guns.
You're young. You're stupid.
You get in the gun dispensary.
But bravo to these kids because, like I said, and I don't know if I should put a picture of her in here or not. Well, the link to the story will be
everywhere.
Yeah, the link's there. Yeah, she's all over.
Dude, she is damn. It's a shame even to send her to prison, to be quite honest with you.
Oh, well, the women in prison
aren't going to prison. They
probably
never
incomplete. No, they don't go to prison.
They go to half-ass prison.
There's a double standard I don't like.
Yeah, because if it was a male teacher, they get like 15, 20 years.
They should. Male teachers should.
Well, the women teachers don't.
They shouldn't.
There's another double
They should
standard.
not. That's
yes,
right.
they should.
No, they should not. They shouldn't even get arrested.
They should
be given an award.
They should force them to a school where women educate young males that way, you know?
You can't have two sets of laws. Forget the fact that the crime is what it is. If it was bank robbery, that's like saying, well, if you're a woman,
it's not bank robbery.
Like, if you're saying I'm using any crime. Petty
it's not
theft,
any crime.
Passing bad checks.
It's a hot 25-year-old banging a 17-year-old student.
Regardless, you're saying that just because she's hot,
right,
that she gets a less sentence. Suppose she was passing bad checks and Joe was passing bad checks.
She's not passing bad checks. She's banging
You can never
students.
Look at the analogy.
It doesn't
That's because you
here.
just want to get your ashes hauled by this chick.
Yes.
You're sticking with your cock and balls again.
Yes. Yeah. Absolutely.
So, well, we're done here with that.
Okay.
This going to go no further because that's going to be the prison that you look through.
No. Look,
it is.
I think. Well, to me, there is a principle involved. This teacher's a rapist. If you're going to call a man a rapist, then she's a rapist. That's the principle.
Listen,
okay. Look, I'm no different than anybody.
I call her.
Yes, I would. Look at her. Yeah, if I was 17 years old, I would
call her a good time. Is what I call her.
Yeah,
Mrs. Good Time. Miss Good Time.
Well, the funny thing is, she doesn't have to hold a knife to my throat for me to. Okay, look, we're going to have sex.
She didn't have to do anything to any one of these students. They came willingly. Yeah.
Absolutely.
No doubt. They did.
Absolutely. Yeah, she should be a model. Why is she a teacher?
I told you, so she could bang young guys.
It must be.
Where do you find a target-rich environment?
She winds up doing porn.
One can only hope. One can only hope.
I wouldn't be surprised.
All right, so the next story we have, because this becomes a growing problem, a 28-year-old teacher, Haley Way, pled guilty to 2 felony counts of having improper relationships with a student.
Guilty?
Guilty. What did I say?
Guilty.
Guilty. with
Jimmy's smiling right now.
Who?
Jimmy. The Jimmy's smiling right now.
Oh, he likes it when you correct me.
Yeah,
found that out.
And he made a point to tell me that at the funeral.
Right, we were at my mom's funeral, and he sat down and told you everything. He sits down and listens to the show, and then he sat down and told you everything.
And he wouldn't bang a dwarf.
He would not. He would bang a dwarf.
Jimmy said he wouldn't bang a dwarf.
Of course he said. And you said you would. What did you say? There wasn't any teachers that you wouldn't bang in high school. That you didn't think of banging in high school.
Yeah, but I was trying to get a rise out of it.
Yeah, but that was
evidently
that was neither a confirmation nor a denial.
Listen.
Hey,
Jimmy drew a line in the sand that said he would not bang a dwarf.
Jimmy wouldn't date a dwarf. He'd bang one. There's the difference. And I stand behind that.
I think it would be kind of cool if he dated one. He could, like, walk in with it on his shoulder, like Tiny Tim. you know,
Right.
when Bob Cratchit comes swooping into the kitchen, like, ah, you know.
He could wear her on the front with like one of those little things that you wear kid child. It was like a,
you know, we're scoring big points with the little people.
That's right. And apparently this teacher, she worked in Austin, Texas. Both of the students were 17 years old, so she's not going to jail. She won't have to register as a sex offender because the age of consent is 17. Now, see, she's smarter. Mm-hmm. She found 17-year-olds, and that way...
I think she just lucked out.
You think so?
Yeah. For all you know, it may have started when the one kid was 16 and he turned over.
I think they would have figured that out.
Yeah. Well, I don't know.
In 2015, 188 cases were opened by the Texas Education Agency into teachers getting involved with students. A number of the cases have grown each year for 7 straight years. School officials point to texting and social media spurring the improper relationships.
I want to break down to the demographics here. I mean, you know, how many men are having these relationships as opposed to the women? Because I think the women are it seems, I don't know if it's because they get more
sensationalist, so they get more coverage.
Yeah.
Right. Now, this one's not as hot.
She's still pretty good.
She's still not bad.
I like them smoky brown eyes.
Yes, that's right. She's got a little bit. She could do some work on them eyebrows. They're a little bushy. Listen to us over here.
Yeah, right. Because we're 3 Adonises over here talking about.
What's this us shit? I haven't said a thing. You two guys.
I know.
You're just as jealous.
You get all nervous when we start talking about
sex. Judgmental as it. Yeah, right. Well, he's married.
That's right. He's married.
I get nervous. I just think something's like wrong.
Having teachers bang their students is wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, there were teachers when we were in school.
Well, we had a male teacher who will remain nameless.
Mm-hmm.
And he got in trouble. He divorced his wife, and she was also a teacher there.
We had a teacher when I was in high school.
He was philandering with a 16 and turned 17. And he's lucky it happened when it did.
Yeah.
Because he never lost his job or nothing.
Neither did this guy.
The school learned about it. But see, nowadays it would hit the media.
Oh.
And he would have went to
jail.
I graduated in 83. This happened, I'm going to say, about 85.
Yeah, this guy, the one in my school.
He got under the radar with it.
He married her. He married the girl.
Mm-hmm. Made it go away, huh?
Right. And then he divorced her, found another student, and married her, too. Mm-hmm. He liked them young.
Yeah, guy's got a rhythm.
He knows what he likes.
Then our 7th grade science teacher, who was a guy.
Yeah,
he had the other situation. He got caught.
He had to develop film immediately. 1 hour film developing of.
I got a story about that. Well, I don't want to, but
just don't give his name.
I'm not going to give his name.
But I was drinking coffee on the couch one day. I was like, "Holy shit, it's Mister!"
Yeah.
Well, here's his picture on the news.
Here's the thing that happened to me. I went to college.
Here's the thing.
Nighttime, coming home, I passed by the drugstore right around the corner from my house. There's all cop cars out there, and the news vans out there with the antenna extended and everything. I'm like, look, oh, wow, some shit must have went down. Maybe somebody got robbed. I get home, I settle in for the evening. It's around 10 o'clock. I turn on the news, and I'm watching, and in Lindenwold, New Jersey. So I'm like, such and such, a teacher arrested. And I'm watching, and all of a sudden a picture appears behind the newscaster's shoulder, and I recognize the guy right away. Hey, it's my teacher. It's my 7th grade teacher. Yeah, right. Yeah. It's Mr.
Mr. Fred. It's Mr. Hemslow.
So then here what
it's
happened
Helen
was
Slater.
Yeah, it's Helen Slater. So what happened was, now this is really hilarious in a way, because the guy, he went and we're not taping. What happened?
This thing just shut off.
Oh, right in the middle of my story. Doesn't that suck? Well, let's see what happens.
What happens? It just went dead.
No, we're still on.
No, they're recording.
Oh, wow.
Well, let's just do what we did last time. I'll have to pull the recording from Facebook.
Pull the feed off Facebook.
Yeah, you're going to have to pull it off of Facebook.
For the first how many minutes?
Are those rechargeable batteries? How long has it been dead?
It just went out.
Just now when you were looking at it?
I'm sitting there looking at it.
I thought maybe the thunderstorm rolled through and that was what happened.
No, I'm sitting here and I'm looking.
No, I checked the radar. It's not moving our way.
I can't tell now which there must be one dead one and one. I'm sitting here and all of a sudden the light went out.
You're not techno bullied today, that's for sure. You're techno dud.
I'm techno dummy.
Everything's failing. Things not working. All right, we back on?
Oh, hang on a second. You know what happened last time this happened? I lost the whole recording.
Oh, jeez.
Right.
Uh-oh.
So I'll just start it again.
That can't be good.
No. Now, is this the bad one, or did I just put a bad one in with another good one and it'll do the same thing? We shall find out. If worse comes to worse, I'll just pull all the audio
It's
off.
like Russian roulette.
We'll just pull all the audio off of Facebook Live.
So anyway, you saw Helen Slater's picture over the newscaster's shoulder.
So then I'm getting the details of the story. Here's what an asshole this guy was. In this age of digital cameras.
Oh, it was pre-digital.
Yeah. No, they were out by then. And he...
yeah, they weren't affordable.
He took pictures of a 15-year-old student in his bedroom naked and all that. And he...
Male?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's...
he
plays for the other team.
Little fruity.
He's a Fanook?
Yeah. So... And, he needed those pictures so quickly, he went to the drugstore to the 1 hour developing.
1 hour, 35 millimeter film developing.
Got to get them back quickly.
Right. And the thing is, that's how stupid he was, because when they're like falling off the machine, someone's got to put that shit in a bag.
Yeah, it's not like they're not looking at the pictures.
Yeah. It's just
so when he came back to collect his pictures an hour later, the cops were just waiting for him. They came out, collected him very quickly and took him off to the jail. And
now, see, that guy should go to jail.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing.
He's out now.
Yeah. No, he may be out now.
He's out. I saw him on somebody that we went to school. His friends with him on Facebook.
Oh God.
His friends.
Yeah, but anyway, it took like 8 months to get him driven out of the teachers union or something. I mean, they normal. I would be like, hey, I want to wash my hands of this clown right away. Not them. Oh no, we gotta. They kind of kept him.
Maybe
aboard.
we should send him for counseling.
I don't know. I don't know.
What kind of counseling do you send to the guy to?
Yeah, right.
Stop sucking other students' cocks.
Blanket party.
Stop it.
So,
like that scene with Private Pile with Full Metal Jacket.
Yes.
All the other teachers coming in the lounge.
Blanket party.
Right.
Bars of soap and socks.
Yeah. Oh boy.
This is going to be this might be a
Cluster F.
A total washout.
Yes.
All right. Now the live video.
Well, it's back. It's back. So
technical difficulties, folks.
Yeah.
They're unavoidable.
What are you going to do?
Yeah.
Imagine if this thing doesn't go through. Oh my God. I'll shit my pants.
If you were SpongeBob, you would split your pants.
All right. Want to go on to the next story?
Sure. Why not?
All right. They say, go braless. It's good for you. Scientists have told women to stop wearing bras. And I'm all for this too.
Okay. I can see this. Yeah.
It wasn't for, it's for National Bra Day, National No Bra Day, which is October 13th. Apparently going without a bra promotes more tone and supporting breast tissue than wearing a bra from a young age. When you wear an underwire bra from a young age, it will actually make your breasts sag more. They won't be as perky.
So you get lazy titties.
You get lazy titties.
Lazy boobs.
Lazy,
right.
slothful titties.
Now, this guy here, this is a man after my own heart. Jean Denis from France, a sports science researcher and professor at the University of Francais Kofifi.
Yeah.
Conducted a 15-year study, attaboy, with the effects of bras on 330 women aged 18 to 35.
Oh, this sounds a little fishy to me.
Is this a real story?
That's a real story.
Did you vet this?
Yes, I did.
Did you vet it the same way as the guy that was coming in his boss's cup?
Yes, I did. His team of researchers found that women who did not wear bras have perkier breasts.
How about that?
In the study, women that stopped wearing bras through choice, not as a requirement of the study, had a 0.3-inch lift in their nipples when compared to regular bra users. Bras, they claim, could hamper circulation and reduce breast tone over time. The team used a slide rule and calipers to record the changes in a woman's breast year in and year out.
Okay, this is sounding...
Listen, 330 women. How many days are in a year?
Yeah.
365.
Yeah.
That's a woman who's coming in this week.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. This sounds suspiciously to me.
It does sound suspicious.
Like the guy who went around giving free breast exams and women were letting him do it. Okay, go ahead.
Well, it says that for younger women, not wearing a bra will increase collagen production and elasticity, which improves lift in the developing breast.
Hmm.
See, so you're right. If you wear a bra, your boobs get lazy. Lazy titties. And nobody likes a lazy titty.
But they didn't really address the lower back pain.
What?
They didn't really address the lower. Yeah.
Now, listen, I can imagine that there's some women that have very large breastises, and they need some kind of support. I don't care. You know, they say, well, you know, it promotes more collagen and stuff like that. There would have to be a lot of collagen to hold up some of these puppies that I see out there.
I don't know.
But I do like. I tell you what, I do like a woman that goes braless. I mean, you see them right away. It's almost like it's like almost like a bat signal. You know, your eyes get drawn right towards.
See, this is how you get in trouble on social media.
I'm not. I'm just saying. What am I? I mean, that's...
John comments on a picture. Whoa! Gets blocked.
I'm just saying it. As soon as I see a woman that's walking around braless, you notice
all
it.
do.
Yeah,
of course we do.
Well, that's what we're wired to do.
Right.
It's not like we have any control over it. Now, men should get bullshit. No, this is what we do.
See? So now they have a campaign out. # free the nipple. Basically, they believe women are being restricted and should have the right to bare their chests. And I'm all for
bare boobs.
The bare boobs.
The right to bare boobs. Okay.
The campaign actually has a lot to do about objectification. That was close. I'm going to go with it. They think that if everyone sees more nipples, it'll change the victim blaming culture. So if everybody's doing it, it's not going to be a big deal.
Yeah.
I agree. I don't know. I still think I'll be drawn to them.
Sure you will. You know why? Because you don't have them.
I have nipples.
That's what it's. You don't have boobs.
I have boobs.
Well, you have boobs, but you know what I mean.
Yeah. Right. Here's what they say. Bras do nothing for your boobs. When tracked, a women over 15-year period found bras don't actually do anything to improve the overall health or appearance of your boobs. Going braless improves circulation. It's a kind of a no-brainer that when you remove your bra and thereby remove the constricting band encircling your chest, I guess that's the underwire, your circulation will improve.
Yeah, but not all bras have underwire either.
Well, they're talking about underwire bras here.
No, that okay. I think a lot of women who are heavy in the chest, you know, like in high school when they're pretty much forced to do phys ed and everything, I think they'd be a little more comfortable wearing having the support or something to support them because
the sports bra makes them look like they have the uniboob.
Yeah, the uniboob.
I'm up for I like the uniboob.
You like the uniboob?
Nah,
I'll take the uniboob.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of the uniboob.
Okay.
I like them when like you could be walking behind them and you could still see them. You know,
the side boob.
Yeah, the side.
You get the side boob from the back.
Yeah, right.
There's nothing wrong with side boob from the back.
I call them, you know, in the Harley, the
handlebars.
Not the handlebars.
The saddlebags.
Not the saddlebags. The saddlebags is the ass. I'm talking about the you know, the bars that if you lay the bike down, it protects your legs. I forget what the hell they got. Where's my Harley friends when I need them? But they look like that.
Okay. We'll go with that.
It's always biker terminology.
They're made out of chrome?
Yeah. Yeah.
They
shine.
Right. They say your boobs will be perkier.
Chrome
the study found that nipples of women who went braless were an average of 7 millimeters higher than those of women who do not wear bras. And number 4, it just feels better. Why not enjoy that end of the day comfort all day long by skipping the bra, even if it was just for one day? Going braless gives you a chance to check things out. Ditching the bra for one day will give you a better opportunity to get close and personal with your boobs in a way that you would not if they were ensconced in fabric. What do you think about that?
I think whatever jogger's nipple, though.
Oh yeah, cause like when you think it's like sand them,
Max the Destroyer guy, you know, when he's
Well, even in the wintertime, wouldn't they get chafed? Like if you're wearing sweaters and all that. And
they call that jogger's nipple.
Yeah. Okay. I didn't know there was an actual affliction there, but okay. Well,
because they're very sensitive.
Now there's some women out there that are tremendously large. Okay.
Okay.
Wow. Oh yeah. I know a couple.
They're very clinical.
Everybody knows
out there that are tremendously large.
Yeah. Well, I mean, okay, let's say you get a woman where they're really like
big.
I don't mean that. Well, not just big, but I don't mean to be derogatory.
Sloppy.
But they hang very low.
Hangers.
And so they kind of like there's women out there when they hoist them babies up and put them up in the cleavage, they really look wow. You know, it's like they really look phenomenal. Well, that kind of like I think, you know, when that kind of like raise the self-esteem a little bit and Because after all,
raise the bar, so to speak.
yeah, I mean, once they're hanging low, they're hanging low. I don't care whether you're wearing a bra or not. Like some of the real big, heavy models, I'm just thinking. I think some women would rather
Thinking
have
outside
that.
of the box.
Well, they say right now, here's another thing they're talking about with the bra. They are a cancer-causing device. It's important to realize that nearly all underwire bras contain metal underwires, hence the name Underwire Bra,
I would think so.
coated with plastic, and it's the metal that can ruin your long-term health. Bra wearers...
What are they made out of lead?
Wait. Bra wearers may face up to 125-fold higher cancer risk. They said that they have a study of over 4,000 women and found that women who do not wear bras have a much lower risk of breast cancer than women that don't wear bras.
I don't think the bra has anything to do with that.
Well, you say that, but here's what happens.
I would postulate that it's probably antiperspirant because there's some studies because there's aluminum oxide,
Okay.
Right.
and antiperspirant.
That's why I wear Toms, no
I got-
aluminum.
I got facts. Want to hear my facts?
Are they for this guy?
Yes.
Okay.
The
So
fact-
they're not being cross-checked. It's just this guy.
I don't know that.
No,
They could be crossed. Listen to it and see if it makes sense. It made sense to me.
Mhm.
The underwire bra, what happens is when you wear the underwire bra, it cuts off the circulation to your lymph nodes. And what happens if you don't have circulation through that to your lymph nodes and everything, it says that can cause cancer. And what they're saying is through this study that a woman who wore bras 24 hours a day had a 3 in 4 chance of developing breast cancer. A woman who wore bras more than 12 hours a day, but not to bed, had a 1 in 7 at risk of having breast cancer. A woman who wore a bra less than 12 hours a day had a 1 out of 52 risks of having breast cancer. And a woman who never wore a bra had a risk of 1 out of 168 chances of getting breast cancer. That's pretty big odds.
Yeah, but there's too many variables in there to say that.
I think you need women to weigh in on this.
Not only that, you need another independent guy to study this because you have different, Jewish women. They have a higher propensity getting breast cancer, so you have to account for that. There's genetic factors,
And probably most Jewish women wear bras a lot of the time because Jewish women seem to have bigger breasts.
Well, don't they make
Larger
underwire bras that aren't made out of metal?
I don't know that.
That they would have
Maybe they would be out of
some
heavy
kind
plastic.
Of some kind of plastic instead of metal.
Duct tape.
duct tape the pups.
Yeah.
No, I don't know. I'm
Yeah,
just
you
saying.
had to get an independent.
So you don't like that? You don't like the?
You don't like that
I think
stuff?
it makes sense.
Yeah, well.
I like the idea of going braless.
Yeah.
Well, I like the idea of going with braless, but this guy's really throwing a lot out there, and no one else has really checked his findings.
Well,
That's what science is about.
There
You
might
have to
be
get
might be
somebody-
more than one study. I don't know that.
Well, you have to wait for other studies. That's what I'm saying.
You think so?
But I think the deodorant makes a lot more sense
Mhm.
when they said with the aluminum oxide.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll
Because
go with
women, they slather that stuff all over the place.
Wow.
You know. Well, because women are afraid to stink. Yeah, they do.
That's
It's
true.
just
that. I hear you.
especially with the spray. With the roll on, it's a little bit more direct. But anyone that's using the spray, it's it's in their hair. It's their toes. It's just everywhere. Deodorize the whole body.
Damn.
One of the stories we didn't get a chance to report on or talk to because I think it was happening when we were doing our no, it wasn't happening when we were doing our recording, but was where they had the guy who started shooting at senators at the
that guy,
baseball practice, softball practice,
Right.
and now of course they're calling for gun regulations, being able to regulate gun. Now this guy bought his gun legally
In Illinois.
in Illinois, where it's hard.
One of the hardest states to buy firearms.
Right. So then he bought that and he came down here. So I don't know. I guess what they're trying to do is they're saying that, you shouldn't have a AKA or AR-15 or anything like
No,
that.
he had he had a Russian gun. He had an SKS,
Okay.
which is sort of like a Kalashnikov,
Right.
AK-47 derivative.
Yes. So he started shooting. So we have another story here that kind of counteracts that, what they're saying where, if not having guns. Guy went and picked the wrong store to rob. A viral video shows an alleged would-be robber in Brazil drawing his gun in a convenience store, only to realize that what might have been the final moments of his life, that everybody inside the establishment was armed. The man, fellow shoppers were all off-duty police officers, which explains why they were all carrying, and you can't have concealed carry. It's illegal in Brazil. As the man goes down, the police officer who fired comes into view, and at which point the officers draw their guns, and some stay pointed at the downed robber while others walk towards the door to see if there's any accomplices that are on their way. I don't know if the guy survived this or not, but they definitely put him down. So, again.
Yeah. Well, the only way to stop a gun is with a gun.
With a gun. That's what I say. You know what stops a bad guy with a gun? A good guy, with a gun.
Yeah, they laughed at Wayne LaPierre when he said that at that press conference, and it's always right. Works every time.
Okay, so now I got to ask you a question.
Me?
Yes.
Wait a minute. Because I know where this is going.
You do?
Well, whenever you open up with, let me ask you a question.
No, I'm serious. I'm serious about this because I have my own misgivings because we're on the same side of this subject. That officer that was acquitted for shooting the guy, I guess it was in Michigan, who said he had a gun, and then the officer told him to get his license.
Oh, he had the concealed carry license?
Had to conceal, told the officer that he had a gun, and he shot the guy 7 times and killed the guy, and they acquitted him. And the NRA, who normally would be up in arms over this, has said nothing about this incident.
Why should they have to?
Well, I just think that, first of all, when a person that does everything right, when they're carrying a gun legally.
Well, let me say this about that, because we had this discussion in the break room and it was very explosive. All I said was, and I'll say it now, we don't know what evidence the jury saw to acquit the officer. All we saw were the 2 videos. So I am sure that the jury did not just watch those 2 videos and then ruminate over it over 27 or 17 hours, whatever, and then like, that's it. I'm sure there was other testimony. There was other evidence that was probably brought to bear. We don't know. Is it a shame that the guy died? Of course it's a shame that the guy died. But for some reason, whatever evidence was presented, the jury saw fit to acquit the guy.
Okay. So let's just go in the court of public opinion. Did you see both videos?
The court of public opinion is like the cops screwed up because that's all we saw were those 2 videos. We didn't see what the jury saw.
I understand that. So let's go with just the 2 videos that we saw, because I saw the 2 videos too. I saw the video from inside the car that the lady was afterwards, and then I saw the video from the dash cam, with talking and everything. So
I do know that the dash cam video did disprove the girlfriend's narrative,
which was.
It was a story that I saw it on the news feed today. I didn't get the chance to read it because I skimmed through stuff. But whatever she said had happened afterwards, when only her video was the only one that everyone saw. Evidently, the dash cam disproved some of her statements.
Yeah, but I saw the dash cam video.
I'm just telling you what I read.
Yeah, well, first of all, any camera is just like a set of eyes. If you put one here and you put one there, you're going to see 2 different things happening.
I got you.
I don't know what they saw, what they were presented with. All I do know is the dash cam was he gave the guy an order not to reach for anything, and he continued to do so. So, unfortunately, he's dead. We'll never. It's never. Once that bullet leaves the gun, you can't bring it back.
And to shoot the guy 7 times.
Well, that's what you do. He was still alive.
He was out of bullets, and the guy was still alive.
Well, she was streaming in her video that she was streaming. He was there dying. You saw him dying. He didn't die instantly.
No, I know that. So in my heart of hearts, that guy should never be a police officer again. Should not be a police officer. Yeah,
because this is why we have a jury of your peers, John.
Right.
That's why we don't have kangaroo courts of public opinion.
I understand that, but to be honest with you, here's the guy that's trying to do everything right. And, he's trying to, in my opinion, he was probably trying to do what the officer told him to do. And the guy just, there was really no real threat to the officer at that point.
Are you a cop?
Yeah.
I know I wouldn't want to walk up on a driver's side window, and you never know what you're going to run into.
Well, if you see the guy,
I will say,
how many of those videos have you seen where on the dash cam a cop's walking up and it's just
I'm not talking about other videos. I'm talking about the video that we were watching at this time. But that's the mindset
that this cop has to have. Every cop that makes a traffic stop has to have that in his mind, that he's walking into a potentially dangerous situation. And I don't know. I don't. As you like to say, I don't know enough to know enough. Nobody outside of the jury knows what evidence was presented that they acquitted him.
I guess. I just wanted to see what you thought about this. And
that's
okay.
I think it's a shame that the guy's dead.
I do too.
Yeah.
I think the guy overreacted. I think the cop overreacted.
I think the guy was probably based, we can suppose all we want, but in my supposition, I guess the guy was a little nervous. He really wasn't listening to the officer when he was telling him not to move and not to reach for anything, and that's what got him shot.
Let me say, I think that the media has to bear some culpability too, because the first thing I heard about the story was, how does a broken taillight turn into a police shooting?
Well,
And wait a minute, it's not that simple.
Well, what
There's
happened
a period
was
of escalation and things go wrong,
they were looking for they were looking for someone.
Right.
And they used a broken taillight to pull the guy over.
Well, we don't know that.
Okay.
I mean,
do you know that for a fact, or are you suppositioning?
Suppositioning.
See, that's
right.
You can't do
what I mean.
that.
That's
I can. I just
that's where I think the media kind of it becomes very reckless and irresponsible, because they say things like that, and then naturally there's people who tend to react emotionally rather than rationally, and right away it becomes another case of police shooting, Black Lives Matter, hands up, don't shoot, the whole
right.
Well, that was a whole false narrative. The whole Michael.
Well, yeah,
Brown
that never
thing.
happened. Yeah.
Right. Well, that's true too. But I'm just saying. And again, I know that
if that guy, that's the greatest injustice. What's his name? Casteel, I think was his last name. To equate him with Michael Brown, who was a thug who shook down a store owner. And,
Right.
Eric Holder, when he was the attorney general, said, "Nah, the cops didn't do anything wrong here." So that's a bellwether. 3 independent autopsies. All the witnesses said, yeah, he stuck his hand in there and tried to get that gun off him, and he charged the officer.
Right. Yeah, that's a different story.
Trying to equate Casteel with Michael Brown, that's the greatest disservice to Casteel's memory, because I think it was just an unfortunate accident.
Right.
Yeah. Well, like I said, I kind of lean in a little more on Casteel's side of that, really. I think it was just something that got out of hand.
If Casteel was white, do you think he would have got shot?
Well, the cop even said the cop was Hispanic or something.
Just saying. The guy was white.
Why does race have
white.
to do anything? Just white guys get shot all the time by accident.
All right. So you'll say the color of his skin made no difference?
I don't, as you like to say, I don't know enough to know enough.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, more.
See how aggravating that is?
I don't know. You can check me on this, but I think more white guys are getting shot by cops than black guys, but you're not hearing about it.
Yeah, statistically, that's true.
All right.
John hates cops. That's what it is.
No, don't say that. That's a very.
The cops are all waiting. Oh, really?
No, that's an untrue statement. That's very untrue. No, it's not. I like cops. I think there's some cops that shouldn't be cops.
Oh, there's punks with badges out there.
There's bad people in every profession. There's doctors that shouldn't be doctors. There's hot 25-year-old teachers that shouldn't be teachers. So
now you say,
see,
I don't know.
See,
so
now
the hot 25-year-old teacher one's up in the air. I still.
So are her legs.
Hey!
There we go. Boy. There you go.
All right, let's move on to the next story. Fatal golf cart accident. Now, this I was so shocked at, because I didn't know this could happen. A woman in California died after apparently falling off a moving golf cart and landing on 2 wine glasses that she had been holding.
Oh, yeah.
There it is.
They
wine.
broke.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. The incident happened about 11:15, June 2nd, in a private olive orchard owned by the victim and her boyfriend. The preliminary investigation suggested her long-term boyfriend, 57-year-old Richard Clark, was driving the vehicle while... Dick Clark. Dick
Clark killed her.
Yeah, how about that?
He was
driving the vehicle while intoxicated and made a left-hand turn, and they say that he was later arrested on suspicion of DUI. Now, the guy's driving a golf cart on his own property, and you could still be arrested for DUI?
Sure.
Sure. Why not?
Well, boats.
What is California, for one thing?
You can be arrested for that on a boat.
Yeah, but you're out in public. I mean, you're on your own property with your own vehicle.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I didn't.
Yeah,
I was shocked. I was honestly shocked that they could charge you with DUI.
Oh, it is
of a golf cart.
Like I said, it is California. You don't know.
Well, regardless of where it is, let's say you're driving around on your property in a golf cart,
right?
And you're having a picnic. There's guests here. You run into one of them.
Okay, all right. I guess that makes sense. The victim, Deborah Beddert, 58, was unable to keep her balance and tumbled out of the golf cart. She landed on shards of the 2 wine glasses that broke when she fell. She was pronounced dead at the scene. Man, I wonder what that was.
Right into her artery.
Hit something it wasn't supposed to.
Had to go right into her aortic, aorta artery.
Although Clark was arrested on suspicion of misdemeanor driving while under the influence, he was not the cause of the accident. The coroner report will determine whether she was under the influence, but holding 2 glasses of wine, and then he makes a turn, causing her to lose her balance and falls out and lands on the glasses. They had been in a relationship for 17 years.
Oh, wow.
That kind of sucks.
Yeah, it does. I mean, the guy's probably feeling bad enough that, this shit happened.
Right. That's your one of the things where you say, man, talk about your bad luck. Talk about your bad beat.
So talking about bad luck, again, with teachers that me and Joe had, we had a teacher that killed his long-term girlfriend, another teacher, by running her over with a boat while she was on a dock.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it was in the newspapers and everything.
Yeah.
And they were like together for decades.
Yeah, they were.
She was on the dock and he ran her over with a boat?
I think they were in Maine.
Yeah, they were. I forget what it was.
Yeah, they were like, I think they're in New England or something. And she was on the dock, and he was driving the boat around with people on the boat and everything. And I don't know what the circumstances were. I don't know if he was.
I think he pretty much effed up, and he did something.
Tragically, yeah. And he he crashed right into the dock and killed her.
She was your microbiology.
She was my science teacher.
Yeah. She's a nice lady.
Was she on your list?
What's that? No. She wasn't
on your list.
She wasn't that hot. No.
She wasn't that hot?
No.
Okay, just checking.
She was cute.
She was
funny as hell.
Yeah, she was a funny woman.
There was this big fat slob in my class.
Oh, yeah.
That I used to always make fun of him because he was a big fat slob.
Okay.
So,
go ahead.
Because no matter how much you get picked on in school, there's always someone lower on the ladder than you are.
Okay. And you're glad that they're giving that guy the business, so you're not they're leaving you alone.
So, but he would broadcast he would take a swing at me. I was like, I would always
move out of the way.
Yeah, at the last second, I feel the breeze.
He would take a lazy swing at you.
So one time we were we were looking at slides through microscopes, and there was a Paramecium slide missing, and she says, "All right, we're missing a Paramecium slide." Like, all right, Tim, fess up, admit that you ate the Paramecium slide. And then he gets up and he's chasing me around, and she says, "Sit down, the both of you." I said, "Yeah, Tim, sit down, the both of you." I mean, I was on fire. And then she says, "All right, all 3 of you sit down."
Which today would probably have got her canned. It's a big lawsuit.
Yeah, she did have a sense of humor about it.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm going to say she was close to 40 then anyway. So
right.
she was outside of our radar.
Okay. She was she was older.
Yeah. There's a soccer coach that killed her. Yeah,
really?
Yeah, she was. They were together for a real long time.
Yeah, he was a wrestling coach too.
He was a dwarf. He had little man syndrome.
Okay.
Yeah.
He always
apparently can't drive a boat either.
He would deliberately.
He couldn't reach the pedals. Clearly, just legs are just swinging. In
Boats
fact,
don't have pedals.
Jimmy could come walking in with him on his shoulder like Tiny Tim. So
he looked like to me. He reminded me of Buddy Hackett, but a little more serious and he was like
unfunny.
An
unfunny Buddy, short,
Buddy
unfunny Buddy.
I thought Buddy Hackett was funny as hell.
Oh yeah.
I understand that. Yes,
but
Buddy Hackett's funny.
I had him for sex ed, and he would deliberately get my name wrong. As we know, my name or my surname is perilously close to.
Yes.
Yeah, and he would deliberately do that and get a few laughs out of everybody until I started I started drawing cartoons of him and all that. And
that's the best revenge.
It is.
Oh yeah.
Especially you two.
Yeah, he didn't know what he was fucking with.
That's true.
So then we had a little feud going on. But then he finally said, "Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't know your name." I said, "Yeah."
Sure. Sorry, I didn't know your name. Okay.
Didn't know your name was pronounced. Sure.
Yeah, but he didn't. As far as I know, he didn't go to jail or nothing.
No,
but it was.
Well, it was an
accident.
It was an accident.
Because her kids were on the boat. Oh yeah, it was like
you killed Mom.
It was a whole mess. It was.
That's not good.
Yeah, it's like
holy cow.
Yeah. That happened quite a number of years ago.
Yeah, I would imagine so. You guys have been out of school for 30 years.
Well, no, I mean it happened. No, I mean I still owned my store, and it was in the newspaper.
Oh, okay.
I was like, because I used to read all the newspapers for free. Why not? I got some perk.
That's true.
Yeah, free papers, free magazines.
So, what do you think about Bill Cosby getting getting.
He got off.
He got off.
I wasn't surprised.
Yeah, I wasn't.
You think that they say they're going to retry him? I don't know.
They could.
They could try to.
Yeah, they could definitely give him a civil.
Yeah,
They could
OJ
do that.
got off, and then they came after him civilly, and that was it. I would never wear those ugly ass shoes. Hey, here's a picture of you on the sidelines wearing Brugler Magley his shoes.
Hey, here's a receipt where you're.
Those ugly ass shoes. I thought you meant the other ugly ass shoes.
So now Bill's supposed to come out. He's going to start teaching a class on how not to be sexually assaulted.
How not to get caught doping.
Hey, you're learning from
First
a pro.
thing you do is you don't drink a drink when someone gives you a drink unless you pour the drink yourself.
Wearing those loud sweaters.
And how about a nice Jell-O pudding pop?
You never get a drink.
Here come the
water.
cops. They heard that you hate cops.
I don't hate cops. Stop saying that. I don't hate cops. That's false news.
That's a false
Fake-
narrative.
That's right.
I crack up. We were in a bar one night, and the cops came in. They were looking for someone, and they arrested the guy. So I don't know how I was the one who started, but then it just caught on. I started going, bad boy, bad boy.
Oh, my
what you
goodness.
gonna do? Well, then everybody started singing as the whole bar. So the guys in handcuffs, the cops were laughing. They thought that was great. It was like,
Little soundtrack for the video of the 15 phones that were recording the incident.
oh, it was funny because I started doing it, and all my friends started doing it. And the whole
You know why
bar
you
gets
started doing that? Because you don't have a smartphone and you weren't recording it, so you could start the clapping. No one else could clap because they were recording
their
it.
hands
they're
full.
too busy.
Yeah,
Yeah,
their hands-
Exactly.
See, I was a man of action that night.
It's shit in their hands. I'm
mean,
not surprised that Cosby got off, though, because jurors are mesmerized by celebrity.
you don't
I think that has a
after
lot to do with it.
As many women came forward that I thought this was a slam dunk.
Well,
Well, the
look,
problem is they all came forward years later.
Yeah, that's true too.
well, yeah, the first thing they probably did. I'm not a court expert, but
And we don't know
the
what
judge
the
will
jury
say,
saw.
okay, here, like all these, so this woman, and these are not admissible witnessing. Get rid of this. This is irrelevant to the case, and of course, the media doesn't see it that way. They say, oh, there's 35 or whatever, 300 women who, they got to kind of like. They got to go with what they know and what not. What somebody's saying.
I understand that. Camille, his wife, came out with a scathing letter to the district attorney and and one of the other prosecutors that was prosecuting the case about what they did to my poor husband, Bill.
Wasn't she implicated in it too? She was
She
kind of like
knew what was going on.
she was kind of like
she
a
was
Hillary
not like-
Clinton. Like she was like an enabler.
Listen,
and all that
one
stuff.
woman's sexual assault is another woman's night off. You know what I mean?
Camille, you got the night off.
So it looks like that.
It's either her or me. Here's the pill, Bill. Go get her.
In addition to the police, now you're going to have all the feminists after you.
For what? What did I do? I didn't do anything.
One woman's sexual assault is another woman's night
That
off.
is. That is. What do you want from me?
I really should call the police, but I really don't feel like banging Bill again tonight.
Ever since that one eye started going to the left, I can't take it.
That lazy eye.
He's got a lazy eye.
Hey, you're laying on the ground banging him. You don't know which eye to look into.
Hey, wait, what are you looking at?
Eyes here, Bill.
Well, that comes from practice. While he's sexually assaulting the woman, the other eye's looking out for the wife.
That's not a lazy eye. That's a well-trained organ. I'm looking for the cops.
I got to keep one eye on her and one eye on the door. Poor woman.
Those crazy noises he makes.
Yeah, so now he's going to go out and teach a class on what not to do, how not to get sexually assaulted.
Yeah, they're going to have 8 cameras on that dude. Every student in that class is going to have like their cell phone ready. And they're sitting there like...
First thing, don't go out with me.
Yeah.
That's the first way not to get sexually assaulted by another person. All right. Things men do during sex that women hate. And if number 3 happens, consider divorce. Imitating porn stars. Sometimes too much is exactly that, too much. Women know when you're trying too hard. Stick to what you know.
Well, what if you're one of those guys that don't know too much?
Imitating porn stars?
Right. Not reciprocating. Asking your girl for a blowy, then refuse to do the same for her is an absolute selfish move, and it will turn her off every time.
It's like that old joke, what's the best way to give a girl an orgasm? Who cares?
Yeah.
All right, I got you.
It's an oldie but a goodie.
Here's number 3, lack of creativity.
Of course.
There is a fine line between doing too much and trying something new. You have to switch things up once in a while to keep the sparks flying.
Well, these are all no-brainers.
I'm just saying, women don't like this.
Oh, I like this next one.
Not exploring.
Look, I like the GIF they got. The guy slapping her on the butt.
Yeah, but it's in slow motion.
Slow motion. Yeah.
You can see the wave of her butt going up and down. That's pretty cool. When it comes to being sensual, take time to explore a bit during foreplay. Let me try that again.
When it comes to being essential, taking the time to explore
Not essential. When it comes to being sensual.
That's what I said.
You said essential.
When it comes to being sensual.
You said essential. I'm just saying.
Whatever.
You did. When it comes to being sensual, take the time to explore a bit during foreplay is important. Pretend you are Lewis and Clark.
Lewis and Clark.
Killing grizzlies. Robbing Indians.
Lewis and Clark. I'm in there like Magellan, baby. I ain't doing this Lewis and Clark.
Okay.
All right.
You know, Magellan did die in the Philippines. Right. You might want to be Lewis and Clark.
Another thing.
Come back.
Well, that's a good way to go, I would think. Being Magellan on that. Well,
you're going to finish. You're going to finish the sentence there. Or we're going to.
Yeah.
Okay, here we go.
Yeah, I have trouble doing that.
Things men do during sex that women hate: entering without asking. The Bill Cosby. Entering any place, particularly the back door, without asking permission first is totally jarring and often painful, and a definite no-no.
Yeah, but sometimes it's easier to get forgiveness than permission.
That is true. You mean so it's better to...
And it's not rape if you yell surprise sex.
Okay. All right. Okay, I'll go with that.
Hey, these are all old jokes. What can I say?
Never wanting to use a rubber. If it's your wife or girlfriend, that's one thing. But insisting that a condom never should be used puts undue pressure on her and can result in some awful consequences. Yeah, like she might hang a herpy on you, or you might hang a herpy on her. All right.
When we were young, you just worried about knocking her up.
Yeah.
Now it's
back in the old days.
Yeah.
The only thing you had to worry about was like syphilis and gonorrhea.
Yeah, and penicillin would clear that up. Yeah, nowadays, you're like, oh, thank Christ, it's syphilis.
It's syphilis.
I thought you were going to tell me it was the HIV.
Oh my God, it's only gonorrhea. All right. Here's the next one. Getting too aggressive.
Wow.
Kinkiness is one thing.
Yeah, look at that picture.
Leaving hand marks that last for days or weeks is borderline abuse. Be careful not to get too rough. Jesus. One picture, he's giving her the shocker in the face.
Yeah, right.
He's got the 2 fingers in the mouth, and I don't know where the thumb's at. But.
Oh, look at that. Wow. Man, he must have... Not only did it look like he smacked her real hard with that big red handprint on her ass, but it looks like his hand was on fire. It looks like a 3rd-degree burn. Holy shit.
He gave her quite the whack. All right, next one. Pulling hair too hard.
Like you break her neck.
A gentle tug can let her know who's boss, something that many chicks are into.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
Pulling too hard ruins the experience completely, and she might think you're a psychopath to boot. Psychopath.
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 You're thinking of a sociopath.
It's a cross between a psychopath and a sociopath.
Just invented a whole new...
Psychopath. What word did we introduce? Last show we did, Bad Cop, said we made a word up. I can't remember.
Tugging the monkey?
No, that was a phrase. You made tugging the monkey.
Ghostface.
No, it was something, I forget what it was. Never mind. I don't have time to go look for it.
Ghost face.
There's 30 seconds. We're not getting back.
All right, and that's the last one.
Don't do that shit.
Don't do that. You can think about it, but just don't do
Show her who's boss. Does that work in the workplace? Yeah, like you just walk in there.
Slap him on the ass.
Come here, you. Like you tug her by the hair. I'm going to say it probably doesn't.
All right. Well, over in China, they're getting a little upset about Chinglish. And that's where they have the words in Chinese and English, and whoever's doing the translating is not doing a very good job.
Yeah, I love this story.
Chinglish.
Go ahead. Do it.
Tired of getting laughed at by visitors for its hilariously bad English translation, China is planning to institute a set of fun-killing national guidelines aimed at wiping out the scourge of Chinglish once and for all. This new English translation standard will go into effect on December the 1st, 2017, a dark day in the 5,000 years of Chinese history, in order to improve the quality of English translations in 13 different public arenas like transportation, entertainment, medicine. Additionally, it will provide a list of standardized translations for some 3,500 commonly used phrases and terms. And the pictures
Of this are fantastic.
yeah, they're hilarious because some of them you can kind of like look at and you can figure out what they were groping at. But the one that says fuck vegetables, I have no idea what they were trying.
If you go to the picture,
Jesus Christ.
The first one says big fuck hall.
Oh my God.
Sounds like the place that everyone wants to go, doesn't it? You know?
hey, where are we going? Let's go to Big Fuck Hall.
You know, John likes this one. It's a dog.
And
It's
it has
a police dog.
It has a vest on, and it says
Explosive.
dog.
You never know when he's going to go off. If I didn't know about this story, I thought these were just photoshopped.
Oh, boy.
Explosive dog.
Go get him, boy.
Oh, I like
This one, I think it was probably like a race park or something, but it just says
Racist.
park.
Yeah.
This one, I have no idea. It's a picture of rocks, and there's a sign that says dangerous, be careful drowning.
Yeah. Be careful drowning.
Dangerous. Be careful drowning.
Because you don't want to be like clumsy and haphazard when in the middle of drowning. You don't want to be careful while you're
You want to be
doing
careful
that.
as you're drowning.
You know, but there's a lot of fun in them. Oh, there's a men's room toilet. It says for week only.
Yeah, it's the handicap.
Yeah.
It's the handicap toilet. It says for
Then the
weekend.
other sign says, please take paper towel from the box outside the toilet. So it's like, if you really got to go, yeah, you're like, you're in the midst of destroying yourself, and then you discover that there's no toilet paper in
Well,
there.
there's no toilet paper in there. Look.
Yeah, they're telling you.
Well, first of all, from what I understand from my coworkers, that is not a Chinese toilet.
No?
Well,
That's
they
it.
do have some Western style
Yeah.
ones. Yeah, they like the squat,
Oh, they have the low,
Mm-hmm.
like the squatty
That's my friend
potty.
Gary when he said the shit. Oh man, it's a wonder they don't shit all over their pants. You got to put them.
It's true.
Yeah.
I love fuck vegetables, though.
Yeah,
fuck
that's-
vegetables.
Fuck vegetables.
Now, is it fuck vegetables, I'm not eating them, or is it like fuck
cucumbers,
vegetables? Yeah.
carrots, bananas.
A well-placed eggplant,
Yeah,
something like that.
Obviously, I saw this one and I was like, this is pretty goddamn hysterical.
I like that one.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
The pictures are worth it.
Okay. Missing sailor found hiding.
Yeah, this one was, we found this a couple of weeks ago, but as we mentioned, we didn't do anything last week. A Navy sailor from the cruiser USS Shiloh, whom Navy officials reported overboard last week, was discovered alive on board the ship. Gas turbine systems technician 3rd class Peter Mims was found hiding in the engine room, according to the Navy Times. He was believed to have fallen into the sea from the cruiser about 180 miles east of Okinawa, Japan. 2 Japanese Coast Guard ships, the destroyers John S. McCain and McCampbell, the carrier Ronald Reagan, helicopters and fixed-wing aircraft, and a Navy P-8 maritime patrol aircraft were all involved in assisting the Shiloh in the search for the sailor. The 50-hour search. Do you have any idea how much this has cost the American taxpayers?
That's amazing.
Incredible.
All that
For one
arsenal and personnel looking for this guy.
Right.
The 50-hour search covering roughly 5,500 square miles of the Philippine Sea was suspended on midnight. We are thankful to have found our missing shipmate and appreciate all the hard work of our sailors and Japanese partners in searching for him. Rear Admiral Charles Williams, commander of the Carrier Strike Group 5, Task Force 70, said in the release, I am relieved that the sailor's family will not be joining the ranks of Gold Star families that have sacrificed so much for our country. However, I'm sure things are not going to be going so well
For this guy, yeah.
Systems Technician 3rd Class Peter Mims.
So what happens here? So you think the guy...
Oh, he's going to get court-martialed.
Pussy.
Yeah, he's going to get...
Right. I mean, you don't think he's arrested? You don't think he's going to be
Oh, yeah,
Oh,
court-martialed?
he's going to jail.
Yeah, you were hiding. I mean,
Right.
That's
For a
desertion.
week?
That was desertion, really.
It is desertion.
Yeah, this I would have to say that this search combined has to be in the millions of dollars.
Of course it's in the
I'll
middle.
bet this guy.
They can't fart without spending $1 million.
I'll bet this sailor's family would have preferred he was a Gold Star family.
Really? I don't think that's true.
What's that?
Well, I mean,
He, in a moment of rage, I'm sure he. What the frig?
what are you
thinking,
doing?
boy? Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean,
What is this?
So what do you think? I think basically, again,
you think
I'm
this is another
speculating. I'm
bird
speculating.
doll deal where the guy wanted out?
Yeah, where he wanted out, and he said he was dead. He was going to try to wait and hide.
Yeah, how are you
until-
going to get off a ship? You can't just get off a naval vessel.
You don't think
He's
so?
probably
No.
next.
Well, when they go in the port, they got personnel there. They know who's on the ship at all times.
Well, maybe the guy had a
They
plan.
know who's on lead. Yeah, I mean, how was he going to get out?
Listen, it's not very well thought
Does
out.
he have like
I'm
a
just saying.
mustache and like the Groucho Marx
He's got the
nose?
glasses.
a fuzzy nose and fuzzy
It's
glasses.
like, how are you going to get off the ship?
I don't know. I have no idea how you get off the ship.
He probably got good and hungry. That's how they found him. They don't really say how they found him.
It's amazing. It's not a well thought out plan, I got to tell you.
No, not at all.
But imagine him saying, "Hey, listen, we found him. He's hiding in the engine room."
Yeah, he'll be spending some time in the stockade
Oh,
now.
he's going to, yeah.
It's Leavenworth for you if that's where naval personnel go. I'm assuming that's where.
Poor guy.
Yeah, it's like,
Hey,
The
listen,
brig for him.
wonder what he was thinking. I wonder what the reason was.
he was thinking that this sucks. I want out of here.
I'm going to say it was another bird doll. What am I doing here? I question the motives. One of them, they get all.
Yeah, but he wandered off and got captured by the Taliban.
Yeah. Well, yeah, but he was all philosophically screwed up.
Yeah, he went native.
He was questioning.
What are you going to go native on a naval vessel in peacetime?
Well, I don't know.
It's like,
Hey, people. Hey, look. Look at how many
it's not like he's on a
look
submarine.
at how many
where you go
people joined the
crazy.
military, and then we went for the Gulf War. They all decided, oh, I'm not going to war. I'm protesting this, only to find out, oh, you're not going to war, then you're going to jail. You're not allowed to just say, oh,
yeah,
this isn't what I signed up for.
That's exactly
Yes,
what
it
you,
is.
it's exactly what you signed up for. Stupid.
Yeah,
I shouldn't say stupid. Because the people that go out there and serve this country,
yeah, but they're not deserting.
but they're not deserting. Right. You thought you were going to get a free education.
Free education
during
right,
peacetime.
That's what they were.
right.
That's what they were going for.
Yeah, you had no.
I would have to assume that the levels of desertion are very low.
Well, you're signing up for it. Yeah.
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 I mean, there's
compared to like during Vietnam when there
When
was
they were just
a mandatory draft and
right
you
people
were
that they
going.
didn't want to go.
Yeah.
Well, from
and
what
they
I
got-
understand from military people that I know, the worst thing the worst thing your worst fear is your buddies. That if you desert and all, because it's like because that's what it's all about out there.
It's true.
Yeah,
That's true.
there's six guys got killed searching for Bergall.
Yeah, isn't that a kick in the
They
pants?
don't talk about those poor bastards.
No, they don't, do they?
No.
Right. All right, let's go to
Nah, those sons of bitches.
let's go to our last story. Death by whipped cream. Now, I read the story and I'm like, what went wrong here? Have to be operating popular French fitness blogger Rebecca Berger died Sunday after an apparent whipped cream can explosion, which apparently struck Berger in the chest, and her family said on Instagram. Berger, 33, died of cardiac arrest, multiple French news outlets reported. Berger's family posted on the late blogger's Instagram page to warn others about the defective devices. Do not use this type of utensil in your home. Tens of thousands of defective devices are still in use. The device uses pressurized gas canisters to make and dispense whipped cream. Whipped cream dispensers are most commonly used in coffee shops, ice cream parlors, and can be purchased by anyone from a cookware store.
This must be like one of those, like a CO2 cartridge like we have for BB
Yeah,
guns.
it is.
Now,
It is.
you
Yeah, I
think
saw a
that's what it
picture.
is?
Yeah, I saw
That's
a
what it
picture
sounds
of it.
like.
Yeah.
Well, when I was young, my first job was working in a ice cream parlor, and we used to make whipped cream.
Whippets.
Well, we used to make whipped cream, and they had a big giant like bottle. And when I say big, look like a torpedo of nitrous oxide back
Yeah,
there.
it was.
And you would take vanilla and all this heavy cream and all this stuff, and you'd put it in there, and you would charge it. There was a gauge on there, and you would charge it up to a certain level.
Yeah.
And then you would shake the shit out of it, and then you would charge it up, shake it, charge it up, shake it, charge it up, shake it, and until you got whipped cream. I guess that's what she was using here. Maybe she charged it too much, or she'd set the pressure too high.
Could have just been defective.
Yeah,
Or maybe it was just
defective and it
defective.
blew
Used
off,
so
yeah.
many times that it.
Probably hit her in the chest when she was on it. Like, you know,
I
certain
can't
times,
even imagine.
at a certain period, you know, if you hit a person in the wrong
Spot.
time and when their heart's contracting, you can
Right.
kill them.
Get cardiac arrest.
Yeah.
French Consumer Group has been warned about such devices for years. For years? You don't think they did anything about this?
Well,
It's
someone
not
has
like
to
this
die
country,
first.
Yeah.
Okay, here we go.
Well, it's just like here, someone dies and they do something about it.
Injuries suffered from the devices include broken ribs and a loss of an eye.
Wow.
Yikes.
Holy Christ.
The brand and model of the whipped cream dispenser, the killed burger, has not been disclosed.
Well, that's a real help.
Right. Don't use these. Which one is it? Can't tell you. Thanks. Thanks.
Now nobody gets to use them. Yeah.
Right. Now everybody's trying to listen. You know what you do? Go to the store and buy whipped cream in a can. It's already been, you know what? It's
Well,
already been
that's
made.
basically
It's not.
indirectly. It's because environmentalists kind of have a hand in this, in my opinion, because everything was like, oh, these are reusable. It's more environmentally friendly instead of like being here like, fuck it. Just throw that whip can in the recycling can. Let somebody else worry about it down the road. So
That's true.
yeah.
That is true. So, yeah, but let's try to make them where they don't kill people.
Yeah, right.
Well, if you use anything too many times,
That's a sin.
there's going to be
Pretty cute.
Yeah, she's not bad looking, is she?
Yeah, she's very nice.
I mean, she's not as good looking as that teacher.
I disagree. I think
I think
she's
You
She's
think
better
she's
looking.
better
Yeah,
looking?
I
Than You're out
yeah.
of your mind.
Oh, I love the yoga pants picture. That's
Well, you put that teacher in yoga pants, I bet you. Well, she does have that's quite the booty she has there, isn't it?
well, this girl. She looks like she's fitness all the way. I mean,
Well, she's a fitness blogger.
oh, she is.
yeah.
Oh, okay.
Hello.
Well, there you go. Yeah, I wasn't paying attention. No, I was
So
actually
you're like
thinking about.
Drax the Destroyer. You were thinking of something else.
Now let me ask you this: you worked in an ice cream parlor with whipped cream. Did you ever do the whippets?
No, I never did.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
You know the thing about it was?
That never even crossed my mind. to
No,
even try
I don't
something
even
like
think
that.
it was a thing back then.
No,
I was 14 years old. I don't think that was
I
even
think
a
that
thing.
started
was-
like in the 80s.
Yeah.
Or if it did, it wasn't
Well,
in our
I had a lot
area.
of friends that worked at Richmond's in the mall, and at the end of the night, I'd go pick them up and everything. Yo, man, you got to try this out. You know, I was like, okay.
When I'm telling you, it was
You
like
know,
a
that's silly.
It was the same size of a canister as like a burning torch. You know,
Yeah, this was
big.
like it was
Like
a
a
big one,
propane
right?
torch.
Yeah, I'm talking. It stood this high.
Oh, that
like
one,
an
yeah, the real big
acetylene,
ones,
yeah.
yeah, acetylene. I mean, it was 4 or 5 feet tall. This canister.
No, the ones we had were like,
But we did know it's nitrous oxide. We did know it was laughing gas.
yeah, right.
But I just never thought to try it.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
turn into the Joker for about 15 seconds, and then you're.
I never thought to try it. I don't know. So
It's no big. It's you know what? To me, it was no. You remember when you were a kid, you get your friends. You breathe heavy for like 20 times, and then your friend grabs you in a bear hug.
The knockout game.
Yeah, the knockout. It was like that. That's exactly what it does to you.
You never did the knockout game?
no,
Did you ever piss
No.
into a bug light?
no.
Did you ever get a chocolate face?
Have I ever have a dirty Sanchez?
Somebody here pissed into a bug light.
Who?
Wasn't me.
You pissed into a bug light?
Well, look, let me tell the story before it gets.
I don't know. But go
Yes,
ahead.
I was young and stupid.
He was 19.
No, I wasn't that. No, I was 14. In fact, I might have been
I think
13.
you were younger than that.
Yeah. Well, we used to cut through yards to go to my friend's house. The neighbors had a low-hanging bug light. And we used to play
purple
around.
fluorescent.
I said, I'm going to short this goddamn thing out. Watch this. Well, I found out in my later years of chemistry, like, ammonia and like certain, water, very conducive to electrical current.
Yeah.
You don't want to take a leak.
And your he's holding on to a metal fence.
Yeah, it kind of surprised me. Whoa. Yeah.
Yikes.
Yeah, so you don't want to do that.
Crazy.
Well, you and your buddies, the world is your urinal. When you're 14 years old, everywhere you go, let's pay.
Hey, listen, I'm 55. The world still is my urinal. What do you
There
want?
you go. Well, except we're a little more loath to admit that now.
All right, let's wrap this up. Let's do some podcast shout-outs.
Don't you want to break any news? No, all right.
What break news? What are you talking about?
Yeah, nothing. I'm just getting ahead of the curve. Okay, please check out these other podcasts and the podcast host because they do a great job and they're really awesomely cool people. With 3 is Comedy, Jason, Bob, and Mindy. And again, best wishes to Bob for a speedy recovery.
Right. We also have Bad Cop, with Jerry and Dave.
I was going to say that. You're just going to leave him just like, hostless? Just
It's funny because
that dramatic pause there.
last episode they did. They were doing a bit. It was funny. They were kind of talking about the other shows that are on Radio Vegas Rocks. And I think Jay from Radio Vegas Rocks didn't like it too much. I don't know. But anyhow, every once in a while you go and you do something that's funny and then somebody gets a hair up their ass. I think that's what happened here, to be quite honest with you. I thought it was funny. I don't see what the big deal was, to be quite honest with you. I don't think they were that disparaging.
Left my ass off.
I thought it was hysterical.
Bold and Belligerent with Lauren, Josh, Mike, and Luke.
Yep, and Luke. We're going to drop his moniker. And this next podcast, I'm kind of a little bit sad about this. The Tavern Podcast with Rockstar, BB Byerling, and King Brandon. They are ending their show for right now. And,
Rocky said he is rebooting and he'll have something in the future.
I was just getting into the show and then all of a sudden it was gone. I'm like, I'm a show killer. I start listening and all of a sudden,
wow.
Yeah.
Show killer John.
Yeah, apparently I am. Same thing with TV. If I start watching the show, sure enough, it goes one season. The Who's Right podcast with Doug and Anthony. I have my Who's Right T-shirt on right now.
You look resplendent.
I get questions from Doug every once in a while, about this and that. So they're buying equipment and trying to improve their podcast. So it's a good show, and they're getting better every week. So
every week the name of the show changes.
Why?
Like last week they were going to change the name of the show to Fist Punch.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay, I see what you're saying. Yes.
Every week they have a new name for the podcast.
Well, I'll tell you, they have some crazy, crazy stories on that show, to be quite honest with you. They had this one, she's a porn star.
Roxy Ray.
Oh, wow.
And what they do with Roxy Ray is she's like this anal queen. Okay, so those things that they take and they spread open a woman like
a speculum.
To check
no, I don't. You better.
You've never seen anything? Okay, so it's basically like two big giant spoons, that are on like a 90-degree angle, and they jam them in there and they pull them open. Jam. Because I don't know how you just work them in there.
I think that's what they do. I think they just work them in there.
Just work them in there.
It goes back to that list of 10 things that women hate that men do. You just go jamming things in there.
So they work them in there, and then they pull it apart, right? And there's just like this big giant cavern. And with her, they take Fruit Loops and they pour it in there with milk. And then two people start eating the Fruit Loops.
Okay, look.
I understand. That's exactly how I felt.
The look on your face.
Right. So I was like, oh
you
my.
You look like mommy.
Who the hell even thought of this shit?
You look like mommy just now.
Listen.
That's why. This is why I say people wonder why terrorists want to kill us.
I think this all starts with mushrooms. Someone's taking mushrooms, and all of a sudden they're like, "Listen, I'm going to stand."
Why not Apple Jacks?
A is for Apple.
I don't see why.
J is for Jacks.
There you go.
Cinnamon Toasty Apple Jacks.
Jesus Christ.
So on Twitter, I said, "Holy cow, that ruined cereal for me. I think I'm going to go make eggs." And she tweets back and says, "Well, don't watch that video I did with an egg." I'm like, stop it. I won't be able to eat anything for breakfast.
You'll lose a lot of weight now if you watch Roxy Ray videos.
Oh, God damn.
So, anyhow, yeah, they have, and those guys are like, that Anthony, man, he's into some really freaky kind of porn. Like stuff that I wouldn't even think that, like sometimes you go to a porn site and it says search. I wouldn't even think to search for that.
Fruit Loops.
No, this is mild compared to some of the stuff.
What do you do? Get on the search engine and punch in Fruit Loops.
Cereal. I don't know. So,
oh God.
Yeah, but check out their show. They're getting better and better each weekend. I enjoy it. I love their show. Yeah, they're going to start publishing on.
I was all psyched. I was like, "Oh, it's Wednesday,"
and now they're going to start.
There was no show. I was like, "Oh."
They started putting out Sunday.
Fruit Loops?
I can't eat them anymore.
Yeah, I do.
What's because you haven't watched this video?
Anything with sugar, I'm all about it. Captain Crunch, Frosted Flakes.
Yeah, why couldn't they use Frosted Flakes? I don't eat them.
How about Rice Krispies? I guess Roxy Ray would get off with the snap, crackle, and the pop.
A little stimulation.
You would think.
Maybe she tried them.
Oh, God.
Now that I'm older with Shane and Kenny.
All right, and I'll do the Horribly Awkward podcast with Sean Fuller.
Oh, I skipped right over that.
Yeah,
I
you did. That's
apologize.
okay. It's all right. Now we're one off. Go ahead.
Telling the Trigger with Daniel and Courtney 3000.
All right. And Ice in the Face with Sarah and Rick.
The Story Behind with Emily Prokop.
And the Unwritable Rant with Juliet Miranda. And this last episode, she did an interview with Leah Thompson. And I don't know. Leah Thompson still looks good after all these years. And she's got 2 daughters out now that are actresses. And they're smoking hot, too.
I think she looks better now than she did when she was a teenager.
Yeah, she did well. She aged well. That woman's like a bottle of wine.
You want to go in the bathroom and
No.
Toss one off real quick.
I did that already.
Penn and Mellor show with Matt Mellor and Via La Pedros.
Viva La Pedro.
VIA, Via.
Why did that not change? I thought I changed that.
Evidently not.
All right.
As long as it says Via, I'm going to read it that way.
And they are also, I want to get back to this, Who's Right is now a member of the Hush Your Face Network, and also Penn and Mellor is
also part of the
Hush Your Face Network. The Nerder Wells podcast with Eric, Sam, and Chris.
The Horrible Gamers podcast.
And then the Epic Film Guys. Check them out if you like film reviews and stuff like that.
Everyone Has a Podcast with Adam and Brian.
And this one...
Is it Byron or
Byron? Byron.
Because I've heard it pronounced 2 different ways. We got to get a check on that.
Well, this is the 1-year anniversary where they took a branding iron with their podcast logo on it and branded Byron's ass with that. I'm telling you, dude, that was intense.
Oh, there's some dedication there, man.
I'm sure. What they should do is pull his pants down and take a picture of it now.
Yeah, I want to see that.
I want to see what happens 1 year later after the branding.
It's a good thing Steve and Tom didn't do that. They're off the air. Like, oh, we just branded our asses and now we're done. Fucking John. Fucking John.
Listen, I'm not taking credit for that.
Yeah, sure.
I would love to, but it wasn't me. It was a group effort. It was Rob and Slim Show and Naked Porch Podcast, and I was in there too. I'm not going to lie. I was in there, throwing hands.
Cheering them on.
Yeah,
right.
Speaking of the Naked Porch Podcast with Ray, Danielle, and Chris.
And speaking of the Rob and Slim Show, our Brothers Up the Turnpike.
Now they do like that 3.5 hour show. And that is that's an amazing show. And they have the intern now. Her name's Amanda. And if you send in, it's like they have Ask Amanda questions. Like you can tweet in questions for her, hashtag Ask Amanda, and she'll answer them on the show. It was the first time they did last week. Pretty good. All right, so that's it for this week. We will be back next week, and we might have another network we're on that we will. I don't have all the particulars yet, but we're in negotiation now with another network, another streaming network.
That was the news I was alluding to.
Yeah, I can't really tell. I don't have any.
My bad.
Particulars right now, but it might happen by next week. So you can always catch us on Radio Vegas Rocks Thursday from 1 to 3 p.m. Pacific time and 4 to 6 p.m. Eastern time.
Right.
There we go. All right.
Absolutely.
All right. So next week, come on back and
Saturday night.
If you want to watch us live, and if not, check out. I guess we've been putting them out on Wednesday now, it seems like.
Yeah, because of Radio Vegas Rocks.
So we drop them out on Wednesday for you. And come on back next week for another episode of the Brand X Podcast.
Thanks a lot, everyone. Have a good night.
A good night. Happy Friday.
Shut the fuck up so I can end the recording.
That's it. We're just getting into it.